The ColecoVision was a second-generation video game console released in 1982 to grab a piece of that sweet, sweet video game pie. It featured more detailed graphics, better sound, and more complex gameplay than its competition. It included a strange, uncomfortable, and troublesome-to-use disc controller with a keypad and action buttons on the sides. There were several add-ons for it, including the steering wheel controller, the trackball roller controller, the Super Action joystick, and the Atari 2600 converter. Now let's take a look at 131 games that were released in the US from 1982 to 1985, starting with 2010, the graphic action game. Restored the Discovery spaceship by fixing the ship's circuits. Just don't let them burn out or you'll have to fix them. This one kept me entertained for a few moments. I liked it. The Activision Decathlon. Compete in many Olympic events by moving the stick to run and buttons to jump. Imagine having to waggle that ColecoVision disc back and forth. Yeesh. Keypad controls would have been better, I think. I'd give this one a mild like. Alphabet Zoo, a simple find the first letter of the object game. This one really isn't for me, and I honestly don't see kids back then liking it much either. Dislike. Antarctic Adventure. Guide a penguin on an icy track avoiding pits and seals while collecting fish. Or maybe it's eating fish. This should be the official Linux video game. Love it. Aquattack, a right-to-left action game that wants to be River Raid. The controls kinda suck, as do the constant attacks. Dislike. Artillery Duel. This appears to be a two-player only game where you shoot cannon fire at each other. I'd like it more if I had a friend to play against. BC's Quest for Tires. A simple side-scrolling game where you need to press up to jump. The timing just is off somehow, but I like it. BC2, Grog's Revenge. Collect the clams, but don't come within a foot of the sides or you'll fall off. The slippery controls make it really easy to die. Beamrider. Move your spaceship on the grid shooting enemies and avoiding rocks, enemy fire, and more. This is an awesome game and I love it. Blockade Runner, an FPS shooter where you fly through space avoiding asteroids and enemies. But why do I need to fire with the keypad buttons when there's perfectly good fire buttons on the side of the controller? I guess I like it. Brain Strainers, a super simple Simon-type game. There's a musical game too, but it's only for people who understand music, which I don't. Buck Rogers, Planet of Zoom, a port of the Sega arcade game where you shoot aliens down a trench and on a planet. Sega sure loved these shoot into the screen type games, didn't they? Love it. Bump and Jump. The arcade game where you run nice soccer moms off the road. The jump timing seems a little bit off. I don't know, maybe I'm not pressing the button long enough? I like it. BurgerTime, a great conversion of the arcade game, but Peter has more animation and is slower than in other versions. Still, I love it. Cabbage Patch Kids Adventure in the Park. It's Pitfall, but with the Cabbage Patch Kids. Good graphics and music, but I don't know, I can't get past the trampolines. I like it. Cabbage Patch Kids Picture Show. Some kind of art program with the Cabbage Patch Kids? I really don't know what I'm doing here. Dislike. Campaign 84, a political simulator where you choose your positions and wander aimlessly around the country, just like real politics. Dislike. Carnival. Shoot targets for the high score. Watch out for the duck who'll fly down and eat up all your bullets. Why would he do that? I love it. Caterpillar S.O.S. This game was not sold commercially in stores, but given to cat dealerships to keep people entertained, I think. I don't know, I couldn't get it to work, so no decision here. Centipede, a great port of the arcade game created by Atari themselves. Some of the bug graphics are a little odd, but I don't know, I still love it. Choplifter. Fly your chopper and rescue prisoners avoiding tanks and jets. It's fun, but it can be frustrating sometimes. I like it. Chuck Norris SuperKicks. Play as Chuck, wandering around the countryside looking for punks to fight. Shockingly though, I couldn't land any blows on my enemy. Come on, man. Dislike. Congo Bongo, a fantastic conversion of the isometric arcade game. I remember the controls being a little tough with the real ColecoVision controller though. Love it. Cosmic Avenger, a side-scrolling shooting game similar to Super Cobra or Scramble. Not bad, but it gets really repetitive. I like it. The Dam Busters. I think this is some kind of a World War II fighter game. I'm pressing the buttons and I can't even shoot. I don't know, sims like this don't belong on video game systems of this era. Dance Fantasy. What the heck is this? Am I supposed to select different dance moves and have them play out or something? I don't know, I don't get it. Dislike. Defender, another great arcade port, again by Atari. Fly over the planet rescuing humanoids from the aliens. The scrolling and gameplay is just super smooth here. I love it. Destructor. You need the steering wheel for this game, but there's a hacked version by Daniel Bienvenu. Hit the purple things and take them to your base. This seems to be pretty fun. I like it. Donkey Kong. The controversial edition of the arcade game has only 3 stages, no springs, dodgy hit detection, wonky ladder climbing, and choppy animation. I barely like it. Donkey Kong Jr. Save your papa from that evil Mario. We always knew he was evil, right? This game also has just 3 stages, but it feels really good when compared to the original. Love it. Dr. Seuss's Fix Up the Mix-Up Puzzler, a slider puzzle game featuring Dr. Seuss characters. I'm really not smart enough to even do super simple sliders. Dislike. DragonFire, a super hard version of Imagic's classic game. I find the gameplay practically pointless and the jumping unresponsive. I'll give it a mild like though for the awesome graphics. The Dukes of Hazzard. I can't play this one because I don't have the steering wheel. Way to limit your audience, Coleco. Looks kinda cool though. No decision. Evolution, a series of weird mini-games where you play as an amoeba, frog, rat, beaver, gorilla, and finally a human being attacked by aliens. I like the weird variety in this game. Facemaker. Here's a game for kids who can't afford paper and crayons. Why do they use the keypad to select stuff when there's perfectly good action buttons on the controller? Dislike. Fathom. Play as a dolphin swimming to the ocean depths. I imagine this one also has the flying sequences, but I couldn't get far thanks to that stupid octopus. I like it. Flipper Slipper. 2 paddles in this game means it's twice as good as Breakout. A little overcomplicated, but not bad. I like it. Fortune Builder, a simulator game that feels a little bit like SimCity, I think? Honestly, time has passed this game by. There's so many better Sims worth playing these days. Dislike. Fraction Fever. Hop on a pogo stick and, find the boxes that matches the answer? I don't know, I need a mathematician to tell me how to play this game. Dislike. Frantic Freddy. Play as a bug shooting fires with your spit, I guess? Don't die though or you'll be tortured with 5 seconds of intro music each and every time. Ugh. Mild-like except for the music. Frenzy. The sequel to Berserk has you shooting robots in a maze. You can even shoot the maze or bounce shots off certain walls. Love it! Frogger, a fantastic conversion of the classic Konami arcade game. Guide your frog across the road and the river to get him home. Love it! Frogger 2, 3D. This one is way more complex than the original game, and you have 3 different screens to traverse. It's weird, but I like it. Frontline, an early run-and-gun where you shoot enemy soldiers and hop in tanks to defeat the enemy boss. This was designed for the Super Action controller, but it works with the regular one too. Pressing the buttons left or right to aim is kind of weird though. I like it. Galaxian. Shoot the armada of space bugs in this amazing home port of the arcade game. Who made this one anyway? Oh, it was Atari, once again. Love it! Gateway to H.E.R.O. Explore the dungeons of H.E.R.O. collecting treasure and weapons while battling enemies. Reminds me of the original H.E.R.O computer game, and I like it. Gorf. Play multiple shooting stages before battling the flagship. Graphics are a little bit different than the arcade, but I like it. Gust Buster. Pump up your balloons to the proper level and float over stuff. I don't know, this one's kind of boring. Dislike. Gyrus. Literally a twist on space shooter games. This one has great gameplay and the music nicely mimics the arcade. I love it! H.E.R.O. You know this game. Save trapped miners underground with upgraded graphics of the Atari 2600 version. Love it! The Heist. Fun game that reminds me of Keystone Capers, only in reverse. Collect the paintings and find keys to escape the house. I love it! Illusions. It looks like this one would be cool, but there's no direct control of the characters and I have no idea what's going on. And yeah, I did look at the manual and it wasn't much help. Dislike. It's Only Rock and Roll. This appears to be some kind of a simulator game where you manage a rock band? I don't know, I couldn't get it to do anything. Dislike. James Bond 007, a side-scrolling action game where you drive the Lotus from The Spy Who Loves Me, but collect diamonds from Diamonds Are Forever. That's an interesting mashup, but I like it. Jukebox. Select each square and watch the records get bigger each time. I thought this game was dumb and didn't make much sense, but then I'm not a musical type person anyway. Dislike. Jumpman Jr., a fun platformer where you collect the red gems or flowers or whatever they are. Not many enemies here though, and I don't care for bouncing down every level when you die. Still, I like it. Jungle Hunt. Awesome version of the arcade game with very smooth scrolling. Why is it that Atari can program the ColecoVision better than Coleco could? Love it. Ken Uston, Blackjack, and Poker. There ought to be selections on the screen to choose from instead of using the keypad, so I have no idea what to press. Sorry, I lost the manual in the overlay. Dislike. Keystone Capers. Catch the crook in a department store avoiding obstacles and collecting briefcases. This one's not much different than the Atari game, and I like it. Ladybug, an almost pointless maze game with no way to attack your enemies. You have to hope they run into the skulls. An accurate port of the arcade game, but the controls are kind of sticky. I like it. Learning with Leaper. This is a rather slow and boring kids game. I'd be shocked if they learned anything from it. I find it torturous. Dislike. Linking Logic. You're a bird who has to place objects on the screen. Not sure what else to do here though. Dislike. Logic levels. Another place the pieces logic game. Obviously one needs to be a logic expert in order to play this game. Dislike. Looping. Shoot balloons to open the gate to fly to the end. Flying upside down is kind of disconcerting and it makes it easy to crash. Dislike. Memory Manor. I guess this is a memory matching game, but I couldn't figure it out and I pressed every button. Dislike. Miner 2049er. An excellent conversion of the popular computer game. Walk over the irradiated areas, collecting objects and destroying mutants. Love it. Monkey Academy. One of the more entertaining educational games. Solve problems by pulling down shades as a monkey. The crab was a little annoying though. I like it. Montezuma's Revenge. A fantastic adventure game where you search a pyramid for treasure. Very challenging, but extremely fun. Love it. Moonsweeper. This one is a bit different than the Atari VCS version, but you still shoot enemies and land on planets to save people. I love it. Motocross Racer. A motorcycle game where you must press the keypad buttons to switch gears. Why did developers think they needed to use the keypad so often? Dislike. Mountain King. Collect diamonds and avoid the spider in this side-scrolling action game. I like it. Mousetrap. A fun port of the arcade maze game. Now I get having to use the number pad to switch the doors, but why am I pressing 5 to turn into the dog instead of the action button? Still, I love it. Mr. Do. Dig your way through the ground collecting cherries and dropping apples on your enemies. This is a fun conversion of the arcade game. Love it. Mr. Do's Castle. Knock down all the cherries and avoid enemies in this sequel. It's okay, but it's not as fun as the original. I like it. Nova Blast. This is like Defender mixed with Missile Command. Protect 4 cities by shooting enemies and dropping bombs on those white targets. I like it. Oil's Well. Move your rig through the maze collecting, oil, I guess? Don't let the enemies touch your pipe, but you can eat them, kind of like Pac-Man. I love it. Omega Race. A decent port of the arcade where they added color. What I really like is that this game has a lot of options. Like it. One-on-one basketball. Play as Dr. J or Larry Bird in this simple basketball game. It plays nice, but there's not a lot of character detail. I like it. Pepper 2. Capture boxes in this maze by walking around them. You can even exit the stage and go into another one. This is one of my favorites on the system, but it has slippery controls. Love it. Pitfall. David Crane's awesome side-scrolling adventure game. This one plays pretty solid, but wow, does Harry look awkward. I love it. Pitfall 2, Lost Caverns. The sequel to the original, this one is also very good. I love the music and it matches quite well with the Atari game. Harry looks even more awkward this time. Love it. Pit Stop, a mediocre F1 racing game with an absolutely terrible name. This is like Enduro, but I can't stand how the opponents intentionally get in your way. Dislike. Popeye, Nintendo's arcade classic. Collect the objects from Olive Oil and avoid Bluto. Popeye could use more color, but otherwise it's great. Love it. Q*bert, jump on the squares to change their colors, all while avoiding enemies. The ColecoVision controls feel a little sticky and Q*bert has no eyes. Poor little guy. Love it. Q*bert 2, a good conversion of Q*bert cubes. What you have to do is rotate the blocks to get 5 in a row. I really like this one, but it's gotta be hard using a real ColecoVision controller. Love it. Quest for Quintana-Roo, a rather complex adventure game. There's different objects to select by pressing the keypad buttons. No idea what to do though. Still, I kinda like it. River Raid, a nice conversion of the classic Activision game. The scrolling is great and the graphics are more interesting than the Atari version. Love it. Robin Hood, a cool game where you attack enemies with arrows and swords. I like that it has multiple screens. Love it. Rock and Rope. Shoot ropes to climb ledges and collect eggs. I've never really cared for this game thanks to its rather awkward gameplay. Dislike. Rocky. Ugh, Coleco, how could you do this to the champ? It looks really good, but the controls are sluggish and the hits don't often land and feel really weak when they do. Keep punching, Rock. Dislike. Roll Overture. This is some kind of a musical platform game. It's not real clear what you're supposed to do. I don't know, maybe move the ball to the right spot. Dislike. Sammy Lightfoot. Use trampolines to escape the stage. I really wanted to like this one, but I can't make that jump to get past the first section. Dislike. Sector Alpha. Shoot lots of stuff on the screen. Is this how it's supposed to look? I don't know, I wish it didn't use flight style controls. Dislike. Sewer Sam. This 3D view isn't at all what I was expecting from this game. Save your girlfriend from the evil Russian sewer subs. Weird, but I like it. Sir Lancelot. This is basically a Joust clone, but with different stages. Not sure how I defeated that dragon here at the end, though. I like it. Slither. This Centipede derivative only works with the trackball, so I used a hacked ROM, which apparently won't shoot up. This isn't better than Centipede, but it's decent. I like it. Slurpee. In this exciting premise for a game, you slurp balls and shoot them at enemies? Wait, never mind. This is a dumb idea for a game. Dislike. Smurf, Paint and Play Workshop. Supposedly you can paint stages in this game, but I didn't find it very fun. Dislike. Smurf, Rescue in Gargamel's Castle. Now this is the game I associate with the ColecoVision. Rescue Smurfette from Gargamel in this side-scrolling adventure game. The jumping is kind of wonky, but I still love it. Space Fury, a choppy port of the Vector arcade game from Sega. It's basically an Asteroids clone with multiple weapons. I love it. Space Panic. Run around a maze digging in the floor to trap enemies. Man, I'm really glad this style of game didn't last. This one is random and slow. Dislike. Spectron. This is a fantastic Space Invaders derived game. Very colorful graphics and fast gameplay. Love it. Spy Hunter. Drive your spy car shooting enemies and collecting new weapons. This is an excellent conversion of the arcade. Love it. Squish'Em, featuring Sam. Stomp on enemies to reach the top of the building. I don't like how the character keeps moving left or right after you release the controller though. Dislike. Star Trek Strategic Operations Simulator. Captain the Enterprise and protect star bases from Klingons in this great port of the arcade game. Love it. Star Wars, the arcade game. Play as Luke Skywalker as he attempts to destroy the Death Star. This is only slightly better than the Atari 2600 version. Like it. Sub-Rock. Shoot enemies in the sky and on the ocean. I think it'd be more fun if it weren't so choppy, but I like it. Super Action Baseball. This seems more like a home run derby than a complete game of baseball. It's pretty hard to hit the ball with this perspective too. Dislike. Super Action Football. This one looks nice until you figure out that you must hold the player's button on the number pad to move. What were they thinking? Dislike. Super Cobra. This conversion of the arcade game has some decent scrolling and fun gameplay. I like it. Super Cross Force. This is a weird alien shooting game where your ships appear at the top and the bottom. It's kind of fun though, I like it. Super Sketch / Sketch Master. I can't really play this one since I don't have this special tablet to draw with, but it looks like it'd be kind of cool. No decision. Tapper. Serve, root beer to patrons approaching you at the bar. A great addition to the arcade game, and I love it. Tarzan. Play as the ape man out to rescue his companions by climbing practically anywhere on the screen. This one's got some nice looking graphics, and I like it. Telly Turtle, a rather boring drawing game. Seriously, what's with all the art programs on this system? Dislike. Threshold. This is a dull alien shooting game with tiny characters. I wish there was something more to it, but I think this is all there is. Dislike. Time Pilot. Fly your time ship shooting enemies from the center of the screen. This is a decent port of the arcade game, but it has some choppy scrolling. I still love it though. Tomark the Barbarian. Now normally barbarians like to fight, but Tomark here just likes to jump. Very high and inaccurately, I might add. Dislike. Tournament Tennis. Wow, this is a really good tennis game. It feels as if you can control where the ball goes, too. GameSack Joe wouldn't like it, but I did. Turbo. You need the steering wheel for this game, which kind of sucks for people who didn't own it, but a hacked ROM worked pretty well for me. What I don't like is how the car moves to the middle of the screen when you speed up. Still, I like it. Tutankhamun, a dungeon crawler where you can only fire left or right. Otherwise, it's a pretty fun and accurate conversion of the arcade game. I like it. Up and Down. Drive your car on hilly roads and collect the flags. Avoid enemy cars by jumping over them. This one's not bad, I like it. Venture. Play as Winky in this dungeon exploration game. Search rooms, shoot arrows, and collect treasure. I love it. Victory. This one required the roller controller, but this hacked ROM will do. It's gotta be tough to play it with a trackball though. Anyway, you basically scroll around the stage shooting enemies, and I like it. War Room. Protect the country from missile attack in this fast action game. I kinda liked it until I ran out of ammo and didn't know how to reload. War Games. Move your fighters to intercept ICBMs, just like in the movie. Actually, if they wanted it to be like the movie, they should have just made a tic-tac-toe simulator. The only way to win is not to play. Dislike. Wing War. Fly around Pandora looking for stars to bring back to your lair. Nice graphics, but not much war in this one. Kinda interesting though. I like it. The Wizard of Id's WizMath. Move blocks around to complete math problems. Yeah, this is what I want to do after school. More math. Dislike. Word Feud. This is a simple word finder game, but I didn't see any feuding going on at all. Dislike. Zaxxon, another premier game for the ColecoVision. This arcade port has great gameplay and graphics, not to mention sound. It's a little choppy, but I love it. Zenji, a puzzle game where you rotate pieces to, create a path, I guess? Not sure what's going on, and it feels like I'm being rushed through this game. Dislike. Okay, well, there you go. Every ColecoVision game released in the United States from 1982 to 1985. That's 131 games! I want to thank Jim Notini for creating this list, to which a link can be found in the description. Anyway, how do you like these ColecoVision games? Please let me know down in the comments. Until then, I want to thank you for watching, take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye, everyone.